Hi, welcome to Illuminated Tarot. My name is Jenna. Today I'm here to do a collective reading for the week of February 17th through the 23rd. Welcome in. Well, we've made it through Aquarius season. Are we all ready to get out of an air-dominant energy? I am. We're now going to be moving into Pisces season, which is represented by the Hanged Man in the tarot. So this season, together with the North Node in Pisces, is going to allow us to perfect the art of surrender. Now, what do I mean by that? It's going to challenge us to release our need to control outcomes, to control the details, and to just go with the flow. What I love about this, I was like, I wonder what Hanged Man card I wanted to discuss. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can point out some of the imagery in this. But this is a lumberjack, and he is taking a time out from chopping down trees. And you see how there's mushrooms on either side, indicating that there's been some growth. And it also ties our lineage to the connectivity. When you look at mycelium, and I apologize if there's crazy noises, it's like the north winds. I mean, this is the last day of Aquarius season here in New England, and it's like air is making itself known, because Aquarius season kind of was like this strong wind that blew through our lives the last month. And we really had to take a look mentally at what was going on in our connections and in our commitments. And now we're going to be moving more to a fluid environment, which, I love it. And Pisces, just so you know, we'll talk more about this card in a minute, but I want to go more into Pisces. It's the last sign of the zodiac. So Pisces is said to contain the totality of all previous 11 signs, meaning there's a lot of wisdom during this season. So it's that point in which we take everything that we've learned, all of our life experiences, everything that we've gained this last year, and we really start to synthesize that information so we can burn away what doesn't belong in our growth and our further evolution, and expand and welcome in the newer energies into our lives, whether they're new ideas, new projects, new destinations for some of us, and new connections. So this is also an invitation to embrace the mystery, because Pisces is a very magical, mystical, intuitive type of vibe. You might be interested in delving more into your metaphysical talents and skills and abilities, to study more around the notion of your intuition, really practicing that. There could be even a rewriting or reworking of how you want to approach some of your emotions, right, and your patterning. So we'll go back to the Hangman. He is in an uncomfortable position so he can gain enlightenment. And I believe ultimately what this card is about is surrendering what we think we know about ourselves and other people, and be willing to open up to life's mysteries and the intelligence behind all things. So also a representation of this they want me to point out is this little bird resting on his knee, indicating that nature is always ever so present to help ground us, but also he's finding peace there, finding peace in the discomfort of recognizing things about himself and others in ways he didn't before. So Pisces is going to give us that opportunity. And again, there's a lot of wisdom in our growth, in our own evolution. So the other thing that's apropos during this time is finally, you all, Mars is ending its retrograde. I wrote down the dates. Mars went into retrograde in Leo. It began in Leo on December 6th, and it's been journeying in Cancer. And so it's finally going to end its retrograde on the 23rd, which is about a week from now, towards the end of this period. And it's going to revive and rejuvenate everything you're trying to put into place for yourself moving forward, right, in this Pisces season over the next month. So we're going to be more confident. We're going to have more energy to really go about these new beginnings, right, whatever they are for you in your life. So release your need to control outcomes, details, and trust in the unseen forces guiding you. Lean into them right now. This is really tapping into your spirit team, your guidance system, your ancestors. in your own intuition, your own higher self. So let's now get into, I have quotes. I'm not reading from any books, but I brought in a few old school quotes because, as you know, or some of you maybe you don't know, just a little helpful reminder, Albert Einstein was a Pisces. So if that says anything about his tapping into the collective consciousness and gleaming these powerful insights about the nature of reality. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. I love that. It's one of my favorite Albert Einstein quotes. And now this is Hafiz. Big fan of Hafiz and Rumi, the Persian Sufis. Your heart and my heart are very, very old friends. Now, this is from Brianna West. I read this earlier this week, and I'm like, oh my God, this is what we've been trying to learn as a collective. Temporary, everything, all of it, even the best of it, especially the best of it. We only have so many years to know human love and do human things. Love them, all of them, even the painstaking ones. They too will not last. They are the experience, the insecurity, the experience, the heartache, the experience, the confusion, the experience, the joy, the experience. There's nothing lost if we learn something from it. Your willingness to fail is proportionate to your potential to gain and to grow. How beautiful is that? Give yourself permission. Your willingness to fail is proportionate to your potential to gain and to grow. The timer never stops running. All you will regret is not reaching harder for the things you actually wanted while they were still in front of you. Love that, Brianna. And then I have stay close to yourself, these last two quotes, which is so perfect. I mean, for Pisces season, stay close to yourself. The act of creating something is always more important than the result. So remember that as you go about and you pursue anything artistically, especially during Pisces season. A lot of you are intuitive in your art, whatever you do in your craft. Really, the power and the magic is in creating it, right? Not in the result, which is beautiful, but you set it free, right? It comes from within. That's what Albert Einstein was doing. He was tapping into the collective consciousness. Sorry, I keep touching the mic when I move it over. And then the other one is difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. They do. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. So remember that as you surrender your perspective during the next month. All right. Let's get into, what are we going to do first? I actually want to get into, let's do the tarot. Let's go right for it. I'm going to put this back. I haven't used this deck in a while. I had to get a brand new one because my other one I use for myself. And it was a little worn. Let's call Spirit in, though. So this one's a little harder to shuffle. And thank you all for tuning in, for your commitment to your growth and your own evolution, for your continued support. I am still baffled. Sometimes you just do something right for the act of creating it because you can't help yourself but do that. It's to be collecting here in a community, supporting one another's evolution. It's like, it means so much to me that you all show up. Thank you. All right. And thank you, Spirit, for presiding over this reading for the collective today. Let's get one more shuffle here. I want to get, actually, let's see what's on the surface for this week. The Lovers and the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Some of us are holding on to a choice. Others of us are letting go and surrendering that choice. Interesting. The Lovers is a choice in love. Okay. To love or not to love. And Four of Pentacles can sometimes indicate withdrawal or holding on in either form, but it's a tangible amount of energy. So Pentacle energy is how we show up in our actions. So there could be a holding on tightly or a being stingy and pulling away. Intentional, unintentional. Let's see. Interesting how that came up, but we are heading toward very soon, imminently, Venus in retrograde. So a lot of our soul contracts are under review. at this time. Okay, let's see what's coming out. We've got the devil, of course, and we're taking a look at what's unhealthy. Death. Oh my God, this is a karmic time. Holy smokes. Okay. No wonder. I think a lot of us have been feeling these energies. We have the devil and the death. Goodness. Like, this is also any toxic trait, habit, belief, anything that you're doing that you know you shouldn't be doing anymore. Okay, whatever that is. It could be anything. Or the devil is, it could be something that's tempting you. It could be a pull towards something that you know is unhealthy. Whatever that is, that's the devil. And you're starting to realize, okay, I need to transform this. I need to end this, or I need to. A lot of us are really looking at our patterns. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the Four of Swords is right next to the death. So what is it that we need to heal as a collective heading into the Pisces season? That's what Aquarius season revealed. The great revealing, right? The unveiling that we uncovered in Aquarius was a lot of how we show up in our relationships and what we want to change. And how we show up with our relationship, namely to ourselves. What do we want to change about how we take care of ourselves, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? And how do we want to relate to our world around us? So there's a lot. I mean, this is a collective healing point in our karmic contracts. Now, I can talk about, I learned a lot this week about the difference between a karmic debt, a karmic reward, and also our dharma. A lot of people who have been on the spiritual path for a long time, they have worked through a lot of the karma that they wanted to, we all get certain amount of let's come back into a body and on loan, right? These bodies are on loan, and let's play out these things so we can learn and evolve and grow. And we're in our soul family class, which is like first grade, whatever grade you want to come in under. It doesn't, and I don't mean that that implies that you're going to go through your higher or lower. It's just I'm just saying that as an example. And this group, right, are your soul contracts, and you're all interacting. You came down at the similar time, and you've, had these experiences in other lifetimes before. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, this might not be the channel for you, but a lot of you do. Thank you for staying with me here. This is so you could actually evolve. And a lot of us who have gone through the karmic debt is, what did I come here to learn and expand that was a leftover from a previous life, right? And I needed to learn the value of, my own worth, right? So then you got into codependent contracts. I need to learn the value of not giving myself away or not speaking my truth. I mean, we have all these patternings. You can call them attachment theory. You could call them, we have all this dialoguing around it now in our healing journey. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at the karma of our healing journey and our own evolution and our transformation as a collective. We are healing. We are healing. And this week, I think a lot of us are going to pop up and go, oh my God, I think I've kind of like conquered a lot of the karmic debt. And what's next? Wow, I don't even know. Because of the growth, you're like going in a brand new direction in your own life's journey. And that's when we graduate. And not many people, I would have to say, that to get through a lot of the karma, it takes a good bit of time in your life. Some people come in with just a little bit. Some people come in with a lot. It really is up to your soul, right? And this is fluid. It can change. I do believe that's not like this is the blueprint, which we get in our astrology when we come in. But I do believe that we have creative control, right? It's like when you're doing a project with someone and you're like, well, let's go back to the drawing board. I want to tweak this little thing, but overall it's the same project, right? It's the details that might shift a little bit. So a lot of us are taking a look at what's toxic, right? Devil. It's a toxic belief, habit, patterning, and it could be around anything. You're saying, you know what? I need to quit using numbing as an escape. That's one form of the devil. I need to stop settling for less and being around people that I know are bringing me down in my vibration. And I need to let go of these people or this person so I can evolve and grow. And we're doing it. I mean, this is a massive week here in the collective karmic journey. And the more we take responsibility for our part, the more we will all raise in our consciousness. And I do believe that a lot of us are really saying, okay, I need to hold myself accountable for the things that I have done and said. And that's what each lifetime is for. We're given this time period to actually do that. And I love seeing this because it's like, it's an exciting time. We get to march off into a brand new journey of when we look more at the karmic reward, the Dharma. And that is the rewards that we receive, the blessings that we receive by learning the lessons and acting in our truth and integrity and overcoming toxic patterns. So let's now go into, I want to pull a consciousness around this. Spirit, what is the collective trying to learn through this healing journey in the karmic contracts, sensuality, and fifth chakra? Interesting. So a lot of this comes down to our love bonds. We're talking about the bonds that actually trigger us the most, right? Either their family dynamics, I believe those are the ones that trigger us the most, and then our romantic love bonds. So first, in childhood, it's family. And then we kind of try to master that. We graduate from our family dynamics and we mature as adults. And then we go into romance, right? And that's a whole other set of karmic lessons. So we're learning the karmic lessons. And so I feel that a lot of us are deepening into this sensual world. This card has a lot more to do with seeing our lives. And that's Piscean, the intuitive nature of our connectivity with the unseen, the seen, right? The imagination versus reality, the tangible versus the intangible. And sensuality is a big part of it, where we get to experience the world through our senses. So we have the frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings, experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. So this week we have an opportunity to heal some things, right? And to feel too, when we conquer the devil, this is also emblematic of fear and doubt and healing those things, those insecurities that we show up in, the anxieties, the worries, right? Worry only puts out and pushes away the blessings because we're telling the universe that we don't trust. So this sensual world that we're experiencing, and this is also 36-9, right? So we're graduating from a lot of these karmic lessons, and now we get to experience the pleasures of the world in a new way because we're not in this lower frequency timeline where it's the angst and the hurt and the push-pull and the in and out and the up and down. We stabilize. And when we stabilize, we start to experience the world from a magical, mystical place. And it doesn't mean you didn't have insights into that, but how about we go where we've never gone before as a collective? Why not that? What's next after we conquer a lot of the karma? What is next? A magical kingdom is what's next. All right, so now we have the fifth chakra, which is the energy of the throat chakra supports our ability to communicate clearly and truthfully. And that's what we're doing. Some of us are actually looking at these things that we know we need to bring up. Sorry, I have loose hair. This fifth chakra is very important because it's time for us to stand in our truth and speak the truth and nothing but the truth. I mean, I'm a big fan of the truth. You can't sugarcoat the devil, right? This is when we remove our blinders in Piscean season and we're surrendering and we're going, oh my God, I didn't even see it that way. There's a lot of revelations, epiphanies going on here and what needs to transform and heal in your life so you can actually go into a higher timeline, the highest timeline possible for you. This is one thing that I've really been tapping into and I've learned that Spirit sent my way in the last week is that there's going to be a greater pull towards people that are really, really going towards love and people are going towards the absence of love. They're in two different directions, my friends. And there are timelines that span all the way around in between the two directions. And it's going to be harder to have people in your life that are really going towards the absence of love, okay? And so you're going to have to just say bye. And it's not going to be easy. Now, there's different degrees, like I said, but it's not going to be as easy for us to just jump from I'm It's all about, standing in my truth and integrity and leading with love in my life and being of service to love, to the truth of source, to the light within. There are people that are 100% all in. And then there's some people that say, I'm kind of like 40% in. So there's a lot that we're being tested with right now and our willingness to surrender. So those two came out. Let's go into clarifying. I want to clarify now what's transforming here. I think we're pretty clear. We all know what's unhealthy, all right? We do. We know it's unhealthy to run away from how we feel and numb. We all know it's unhealthy to be around somebody who isn't showing up in the ways they should in speaking and being open, right? Closed people who are emotionally unavailable. We all know. We also know what it's like to operate from places of insecurity and fear and doubt and worry. So let's take a look at what is transforming here at the death this week. Now we have, like I said, the truth and nothing but the truth, my friends, is a double-edged sword. Some of the truths that are being revealed in the surrendered perspective in Pisces season is not going to feel good, but it's necessary because only the people who with pure intent can get on the train heading towards the station of the light of the Creator. Okay? Cutting away. This is also the sword of protection. You are being lovingly guided and protected, and this is about our sovereignty. We are sovereign beings, you all. When are we going to realize that we have creative control? We're the ones pulling the strings. There's nobody that has power over you unless you give it to them. Spirit feels very forceful today. They're like, come on. I feel like there's so much more we could experience when we are willing to trust and take that leap of faith on our path, to stand in our integrity, to stand in our personal wholeness. This is a holistic perspective. She is whole, looking at her garden saying, I have manifested my abundance. I'm an abundant being. That's the truth. So that's what's transforming. Wow, this is a big week. This is a very, very big week. Oh my God. And look at that. This is heartbreak. This is heart pain. We're coming out of the betrayal of what love isn't. Because a lot of us have had to learn what love is through what love isn't. How about we start really learning what love is, you all? I don't want to learn about love through what love isn't anymore. How about you? This is powerful this week. Clarifying the death, Ace of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords in reverse. Wow. Okay. Let's get into a Mystic Forest Oracle. I feel like today is going to be, well, I've already talked for a bit. I'm like, oh, it's going to be short and sweet. I'm already at 23 minutes. Let's see. What is the Mystic Forest Oracle? Spirit's saying clean it up, folks. Clean up your side of the street. Start taking better care of yourself. Start taking care of your mental health. Start leaning into love. Start allowing your inner being, your higher self, your heart coherence, your body-mind alignment to lead. No more of this. They mean business. Don't hide. Don't hide. Don't hide your light, folks. It's time for us to shine. It's coming. Ooh, okay. Oh, I just got a really weird. Woo, okay. It's almost like we get on that train, right? Leading with love. We don't even know the sights, the scenes. It's almost like going into Never Never Land. All right. Do you want to get on the train to Never Never Land? It's a mystical reality. It's magic will be created. The most beautiful experience we can have is the mysterious. A scientist said this. A brilliant scientist said this a long time ago. It is the fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science, is the mystery, the mystical. I want to get on that train, you all. And you got to stand in front of Spirit and say, I am willing to burn away, to alchemize the toxicity in my life and stand in the truth of my own divine light, and to go through this powerful alchemical process in my healing journey. Awaken the fifth chakra, Awaken, go move from the rooted sense of self and the ego's need to survive into the higher octaves of our light bodies. And we're doing it. And that means it's no longer time to hide, you all. Dare to dream big. Remind yourself that everything is possible. Don't hide your talents and abilities, but use them to build your world. Exactly. And then it's coming. Hope is on the horizon. In the face of challenges, remember that nothing lasts forever. Trust that the universe has good things in store for you. We're all going to get on this train, you all. You're not alone in this. I am right here with you. We live in an exciting time. So much is going to change in the next 50 years. We just have to hang on, right? And not be afraid. Okay, let's now go into Mark Nepo and see what he has to say for February 17th. Endgame. Oh, God. Okay. I haven't read this yet. Endgame. Okay. Okay, Mark. He's always so on point with whenever I read every Monday. Now there's nothing left but to keep dancing. I don't know if it is human nature or the way of life on earth, but we seldom become all of who we are until forced to it. Some say that something in us rises to the occasion, that there is, as Hemingway called it, a grace under pressure that comes forth in most of us when challenged. Others say this talk of grace is merely a way to rationalize hard times and painful experience, a way to put a good face on tragedy. Yet beneath all the talk of tragedy and grace, I have come to believe that we are destined to be opened by the living of our days. And whether we like it or not, whether we choose to participate or not, we will in time, every one of us, wear the deeper part of who we are as a new skin. Y'all, I feel emotional. I do. I feel this wave of emotion about the times we're living in right now. I feel like the angels, the ancestors, the ascended masters, they're amplifying their energy quotient of love, and we're all being surrounded by that. Either by erosion from without or by shedding from within, and often by both, we are forced to live more authentically. And once the crisis that opened us passes, the real choice then becomes, will we continue such authentic living? It is no secret that cancer, in its acuteness, pierced me into open living, and I've been working ever since to sanctify that open living without crisis as its trigger. But can this be done without crisis pushing us off the ledge? That's the question now, years from the leap. How to keep leaping from a desire to be real, so as not to be shoved by an ever-lurking crisis. Perhaps the greatest moment of shedding and breaking for me came as I was being wheeled to rib surgery. I found myself numbly afraid, spinning from the Demerol shot, watching the hospital ceiling roll on by, and I found myself repeating over and over the following words as I waited on my stretcher. Death pushed me to the edge. Nowhere to back off, and to the shame of my fears, I danced with abandon in his face. I'll say it again. Into the shame, I stuttered there because it's intense. He's intense. And to the shame of my fears, I danced with abandon in his face. I never danced as free, and death backed off the way dark backs off a sudden burst of flame. Now there's nothing left but to keep dancing. It is the way I would have chosen had I been born 3 times as brave. We're often called further into experience than we'd like to go, but in this extra leap that lands us in the vibrant center of what it means to be alive. Sit quietly with a trusted loved one and discuss a time of adversity you have endured and what it opened in you. Now that the adversity is behind you, how has your inner view of life changed? Discuss what it's like for you to sustain these new inner ways. Grace under pressure. Through adversity and hardship, we live transformed as the embodiment of the light and the love we carry beyond these human bodies on loan. All of life is an act of remembrance. Well, Mark, he always just says it all. Let's get a final pull of advice for the week ahead. Last pull for advice for the week. Let's get some advice. Thank you for tuning in today. Woo, that was intense, you all. Trigger points, hardships, growth. No, that did a 180. Okay. Page of Swords. Students of life, we are. News. Ten of Wands. Letting go of the burden of the journey, right? Dropping the weight of it all, the heaviness of it all. Lightening the load. Coming out of our wounded warrior state. We go from the Ten of Wands to the Nine of Wands in reverse, my friends. And then we hit the world. We're wrapping up a major karmic cycle as a collective right now. And the advice is to take care of yourselves. To not hide, to know that this new beginning is right here, right now. All we have to do is to join hands and know that we are not alone. And if you need help at any time, call a friend. Lean into your inner being. I think it's time for us to be excited about what's next for us, because we're getting off of a lot of the learning that we've had to do as a light worker collective around our spirit, our spiritual work. Fire is spirit. So all the spiritual work you have been doing, you're going to start to see that you're going to be operating from a new upgrade. It's activate the new software, okay? I saw a meme. We'll end this with this. I saw a meme where it was a cat. And he's like, I'm beginning to think that this healing journey is just like upgrading your iPhone, you know? It just never ends. We just keep upgrading. But I think this particular upgrade is pretty important. This is like the chasm between the past and the future. In the ever now present moment, we all are becoming, in a state of becoming, greater and wiser on the journey. So with that being said, you all, I send you my love, I send you my light, I send you my support, and I send you my gratitude. Take care. Namaste.